we doing today? I hope that you're all feeling amazing. I'm feeling really good, and we're bringing that energy into the video today. And today we're going to talk about your questions that you sent me on Instagram about La Sapienza, student life in Rome, student life abroad in general, my experience and all of that. So we're gonna do a little Q&A, and yeah, let's get right into it. So yeah, while I answer your questions, I'm just gonna get ready. I have all of my stuff here and here. And also I just made a coffee. So grab yourself a coffee and let's talk about it. Let's see if I can actually multitask and talk while I do my makeup at the same time. So this is also gonna be a fun experiment. But okay, the first question is, was it hard to make friends? And I think that that is something that everyone who wants to study abroad just struggles so much with, or just anyone who starts university in general, because I feel like everyone just gets so stressed about the idea of making friends and oh my god, we're gonna go to university and we don't know anyone. And especially for me, I moved to a completely new country all alone, and obviously well, I mean, it's entirely true because I did know some people who lived in Rome already, but when I came to university, obviously I also had to make new friends. So honestly, the short answer to this question would be, it was not hard to make friends, because I feel like everyone is just really in the same situation. So everyone is just there wanting to make friends, and that just kind of puts you all in the same position. But obviously, if you want to make friends, like, you also have to put in some effort. So you can't just expect friends to like fall from the sky and come into your life. But you know, you have to go up to people, talk to them, ask them, hey, do you maybe want to grab a coffee after class or something? And what I have found is that everyone was really so kind. Like, guys, I'm telling you, the people I met in my university, like, everyone was just so nice for no reason. And yeah, that just made me feel very comfortable with the surroundings and everything. And you know, I met some of my best friends actually by just really going up to them and asking them if they want to grab a coffee or like an Aperol Spritz after class. So that's really how you make friends. You just, you know, have to get out of your comfort zone a little bit and also go up to people. But people are also going to come up to you, and yeah, but just don't expect everyone to come up to you. So also go up to people and talk to them. And if they say no, which they won't, I promise you, then, you know, you'll meet other people, and then they're just not for you. Okay, next question is, did you get homesick? So I'm a person that does not really get homesick. I have never really been homesick in my entire life until a couple of years ago. And I just don't really get homesick in general, so that was also something I really was not scared about at all when I was moving abroad, because I don't know, just like doesn't really happen to me. And also I'm doing my makeup in a very weird order, so I hope that there's nobody here who's really professional at makeup. But yeah, no, so I just don't really get homesick in general. But obviously there are going to be moments where you just struggle with things. So you're just like struggling with something in general, and then it is harder to not be in your comfort zone, kind of. So I did have moments where I was just really sad about everything, and I was really destroyed. Like, I was just really not in a good spot, because, you know, moving abroad challenges you, of course, in many different ways. So you will be at very low lows as well. I don't want to talk about it like it's all, you know, like beautiful and rainbows and butterflies and all of that. No, it's definitely not. Like, it's also very challenging, and you will also feel negative emotions, and I want to be very open about that. But at the end of the day, like, you will always get past that, and you will also build like a new comfort zone kind of around yourself, people who you meet, and people who will make you feel at home, and people who will give you comfort in difficult times, because that's also one of the most beautiful things I think there is about studying abroad, because you meet all of those people. And for me, because I am in a very international course, everyone was kind of in the same situation. So nobody had their parents there, nobody had their family there, and so we kind of became each other's family in a sense. It sounds so cheesy, but that's really how I feel like my friends helped me so much through everything, and I did too, and we kind of like took care of each other. And yeah, that's how it was like for me. So I always felt very comforted by the people around me and very much taken care of. And yeah, so the next question is a really good one as well, and I'm not sure if I know the answer to it, but it was, what would you do differently if you were just starting university now? And honestly, I don't think there would be much that I would be doing different, because also I think that I just really evolved in many ways, and I could not even like, you know, pinpoint something that I would have really done differently. I think maybe just going out of your comfort zone a little bit more, and just I would really go into it more with the feeling of everything is going to work out. And that's also what I want to pass on to you, because obviously when you start university in a new country, you have doubts. My iPhone just stopped working because it's so hot here, even though I have the AC on. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, no, so that's one thing I would maybe do differently, to just go into it with a more relaxed mindset and just tell myself that everything is going to be fine, because at the end of the day it really will. And yeah, I mean, obviously it's totally normal to have doubts and all of that, but it's really going to be fine, trust me. And you will look back at it and you'll be like, wow, why did I even stress so much? Because yeah, everything's gonna work out, I promise. One other thing which will be to really try to be like a bit more organized with the stuff I packed, because I feel like it was just such a mess. Like, I did everything so last minute, guys. Like, I do everything so last minute in general, because there's always so much going on in my life. I don't even know how I manage all of it sometimes, but maybe just to give myself a little bit more time to really like think about what I want to pack, and you know, maybe do like a packing list or something like that, because I think that could be very helpful. But yeah, so honestly not much, and I think that I really spend my time there very, very well. Yeah, I'm gonna leave Rome. Actually, I'm already somewhere else right now, but I'm gonna leave Sapienza as well, unfortunately, but not because I don't like it or anything, but just because I'm gonna go on Erasmus. So yeah, that's also a whole nother story, but let's get into the next question. So the next question is a real interesting one as well, which is, what was the biggest culture shock for you? And guys, honestly, I didn't really have many culture shocks, because I feel like, I mean, I'm from Europe, so it's still like a kind of similar culture everywhere, I guess, even though it's really not that similar. But yeah, I'm from Germany, and so I think one of my biggest culture shocks when I actually lived in Italy was that everything is really unorganized. And I mean, I'm not even the most organized person myself, but I do like some sort of organization, and that things just work. But in Italy they just don't, like, nothing really works well. And that's kind of just like how, or maybe not in Italy in general, I shouldn't generalize, but in Rome at least, like, nothing really works, and that's kind of just how the city vibes. So if you really like organization, maybe it's not the place for you. For me it's totally fine, because I would say I'm not necessarily the most organized person myself, and I just kind of vibe with it. But yeah, that was definitely a culture shock. Another culture shock I had was that, okay guys, so I did learn Italian pretty well, I would say, and I was at a very decent level, but I did have to do some bureaucracy stuff, and people were so rude to me. Like, it was crazy. I don't really you know, like, I didn't really think that Italians could be so rude before I moved to Italy, because I don't know, like, they always, like, everyone was super friendly to me when I went on vacation there and stuff like that. But especially when you have to do bureaucracy stuff, and they, you know, like, know that you're not from Italy, and maybe they don't really understand your Italian, even though, like, I mean, my Italian wasn't perfect, of course. I mean, I am not a native speaker, obviously, but I really tried, and people were very rude to me and bureaucracy stuff, and just, you know, like, hung up on me when they didn't understand something I was saying, but like in a really rude tone. So that was also kind of shocking, and that definitely was very stressful, because like, there are just some things that you will have to do naturally when you move to Italy, and just some things that you have to figure out. And yeah, it's just, you know, like, if you don't speak the language very well and nobody speaks English, it's a little bit hard. Of course, like, Italians do speak English, but like, in especially like bureaucracy stuff, roles, I would say, I don't think I've ever talked to a person when I had to make a call for something and they spoke English. So obviously it's also understandable, so definitely make sure to learn the language. But yeah, in general, I found that everyone is really nice, so don't worry too much about that. But yeah, that was kind of a shock for me. And I also think another shock was really just that, like, the food and everything, because I love Italian food, guys, don't get me wrong, but the breakfast is really like just a cornetto, or sometimes Italians don't even have breakfast, like Romans especially. And I don't know, I just find that very crazy. I mean, I love having breakfast, so for me that was like a little bit shocking as well. But I also know that Italians usually eat pretty late for dinner, so I guess it makes sense. But in Germany, where I'm from, it's just very different. So I found that very interesting as well. But I love Italian food so much, so yeah, that was amazing. But also on the bright side, like a positive culture shock for me was really how friendly people are in everyday life. So yeah, I had the negative culture shock with like the bureaucracy people who, you know, just didn't really want to talk to me. But then also everyone who I met like in my day-to-day life, like in cafes or in restaurants or just places like that, everyone was so kind to me. And I really like, that was really something I really loved, because yeah, like people are just very nice and they want to talk to you, I feel like, and you know, make a conversation and asking how your day was and all of that, asking how you are. And that's just something that I'm not really used to from my home country, so I really appreciated that. Yeah, that was one thing I really liked. And what I also found is that, I mean, from my impression, people really enjoy their lives more, and they really like, I feel like the dolce far niente and like dolce vita is kind of true to an extent, because people really do know how to enjoy their lives, and I really appreciate that. Like, I think that's beautiful and something that we all should try to incorporate more into our lives. Next question is probably my most asked one and I actually do have an entire video about it, so if you want to go check it out, then go for it. But it is how you found your flat in Sapienza, and also what do you have to know about Sapienza. Okay, so first of all, how I found my flat was through a platform called Roomless. I'm gonna link it down below as well, because I know a lot of you guys are just struggling to find apartments, and please let me tell you, it was absolutely the same for me. It's not just you. I was struggling so hard, and I actually ended up living in like a hostel for I think 3 weeks, where I was like sharing a bedroom with 5 other girls. But it was fun. Like it was actually fun. So just also don't be too stressed if you don't have a room yet, because like you're gonna figure it out, and you know, it's just gonna add to the plot. But yeah, so I ended up finding my apartment on Roomless, and then I also had to live in an Airbnb for like almost 2 months or 2.5 months. So if you are in a situation where you also have to move into an Airbnb, I highly recommend texting them in private on Airbnb and asking them if they could maybe do a discount, because my Airbnb, like the woman who was renting my Airbnb, she was so kind and she gave me a really big discount, because otherwise I would not have been able to finance it. But she was so nice, so definitely make sure to do that as well if you're, you know, not unsure about your living situation, which by the way nobody is, and that's like the most common question I get actually. So don't be too scared if you don't know where to live yet. It was the same for me, and I figured it out as well, and it was the same for many other people in my class, like in my university, in my degree. So yeah, but I found mine through Roomless, and it ended up being pretty fine. Like I stayed there for, yeah, almost my entire time, so like 2 years. Yeah, basically. Next question was like, the next part of the question was, what should you know about Sapienza? And I think that the only thing you should really know about Sapienza is that it's just very messy. It's just very unorganized. But it is also, I think, the biggest university in Europe, so I kind of get that. We should be a little understanding. And this is almost broken. I don't know if I can still, let's see, I can still use it, but I really like this color, so let's see. But yeah, so Sapienza is just very unorganized. That's basically everything you have to know, and I don't think I can use it anymore, but it's okay. Yeah, no, Sapienza is just very unorganized, and it's just a really big university. But I think that's the only thing you should really know, and you'll see the rest. I should have another lip liner here somewhere. Where is it? Where are you? Here we go. Actually, let me put my hair back a little bit. It's better. So the next question was cool places to visit in Rome. And obviously there's just an abundance of places. I have not even visited everything myself yet, even though I spent like over 2 years there now. But I think it's just impossible to see everything, because there's such an abundance of culture, art, and beautiful museums, and also like old Roman architecture and all of that, and monuments and stuff. But I would say my favorite places that are maybe, I mean, 2 of them are not that touristy, but the other one is kind of touristy, but I love it. I think my favorite places are really the Tevere Island, which is just like a little island on the river, and it's like close to Trastevere, so it's really pretty. Definitely check it out. I just love the vibes there. It's really chill. And then I also just love Gianicolo. Gianicolo is a park, and it's such a good place to, you know, meet up with your friends, and you have the most beautiful view of the city, and you can see the sunset and everything. I just love it so much, and it's the perfect spot to go for like a picnic or just hang out with your friends. And then the last place, which is really so touristy, but I love it. It's my favorite spot in Rome in general, I would say, is Piazza Navona. Guys, like, I'm just never gonna get over this place. I love it so much. The architecture is stunning. It's crazy beautiful. So I would say those are like my top 3 ones, but I can also make a longer video about like my recommendations and cute cafes and restaurants, all of that. If you're interested in that, let me know in the comments. Okay guys, this is Miriam from the future. I just realized that my video is way too long to put it into one video, so I'm just gonna split it into 2 different parts. So I'm gonna upload the other part very soon. Make sure to check it out if you want to see the next part. And yeah, otherwise it's just way too long, so I'm sorry, but you guys just asked me too many interesting questions. So I'll see you in the next part, and yeah, I love you so much. Have a great rest of your day. I really hope this was helpful so far. Let me know in the comments, and good luck in Rome or wherever you're gonna study, and I'm sending you so much love. Bye guys.